Start with my prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tatsmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tamsajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirviseshta Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. And recite Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtanaha Radyantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Shruhutsatam Nashtaprayeshva Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Tadarajastamo Bhavam Kamalobhadayaschaye Cheta etir anavidham stitam sattve prasidati. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavata bhakti yogataha bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Vidyante hridaya grantish chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani drishta eva manishware. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, devotees. So we are continuing the series of glorifying Srimad-Bhagavatam. Prabhu, today is the last day or tomorrow is the last day? Prabhu. Okay.
Saturday.
Saturday? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mathaji. All right. So foremost, I would like to thank Vamshidhari Prabhu and Shatrupa Mataji for facilitating this wonderful series of glorifying Srimad-Bhagavatam. And also thank you to Lakshmikanta Prabhu for coming up with all the wonderful questions and thoughtful questions. Also, I would like to express my gratitude to Devi Murti Mataji for coming up with this whole initiative. So a heartfelt gratitude to all of you. And as devotees were mentioning that we, with our busy lives, we tend to forget, to reflect on the roots or the beginning of how we started our journey, etc. So it was, so nice reflection exercise for me. And we know that, our emotions, when we, for example, we flick through the good old pictures, just any other, sweet memories. it feels so good, right? So to that memory lane, although it might be mundane pictures or whatever, so I want to speak about Srimad-Bhagavatam when the literature itself is so nectarian. So it was a wonderful reflection exercise for me. It was, yeah. So the questions I'll start is like the first one, it says, how I came in touch with Srimad-Bhagavatam. So from Bhagavad Gita 7.16, as Arjuna, Krishna says, best among Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of absolute truth. So I fall under the distressed category in here. And so before I go into further questions, I would like to shower some light on what is Srimad-Bhagavatam. So Shri is Shri means wealth, and Srimad is a holy or splendid or glorious, religious, wealthy book. And what is Bhagavatam? So we don't have to kind of Google search like what is Bhagavatam. Literally, in Bhagavatam has pretty much everything. So what is Bhagavatam literally means is there in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.19.34. It says Bhagavatam literally means the pastimes of the Lord and the Lord's devotees. For example, there are pastimes of Lord Krishna and narrations of devotees like Prahalada, Dhruva, and Maharaj Amrisha. Both pastimes pertain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because the devotees' pastimes are in reflection with him. The Mahabharata, for example, the history of the Pandavas and their activities is sacred because the Pandavas has a direct relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is a literal meaning of Bhagavatam given in Bhagavatam itself. The next, what is your best moment with Srimad Bhagavatam? So I was just thinking, and so personally, I feel otherwise, like the moment I am with Srimad Bhagavatam becomes the best moment for me. That's what I think. And being under the modes, I know we have these options of good, better, best, right? So I will say the time when I was kind of maybe attentive and was able to get some realization, of course, by Guru and Krishna's mercy, the time when I was in a reading group with Premananda Mathaji in maybe back in 2016-17, I believe. And the way she explained the whole 3 Vishnus and how we come and how the universes come out of the pores, and what is my position in the whole creation, kind of, it was just wonderful. It amazed me literally. So that's one of the the moments I would like to share. And then the other one, usually while preparing for Srimad Bhagavatam classes, walking down, let's say walking down to memory lane, I still remember that how nervous I was when I was kind of given instruction or ordered by my Siksha Guru, Premananda Mataji, to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. And part of the preparation process, I thought I should approach and approach and take some guidance from who I or who are in the same boat, basically. So I still remember I was coming back from my work. I was on the train back from Chicago, and I called Govind Mohini Mataji, and I'm like, Govind Mohini, I mean, this is what is given to me, and then how do you do that? I think she has given a few classes, I think, before me, and then she gave me, the ideas and all. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And the other incident I remember was in the temple a few years ago. Amritakali Mataji is like, Mataji, we would like to hear from you. Why don't you give Srimad Bhagavatam class? And I'm like, I looked at my left and right, and I'm like, Mataji, are you telling? Are you talking to me? And she's like, yes. And so back then I didn't understand, but then now, I mean, I understand her desire, or her, I mean, where I am right now, the realizations, the connections, the growth, and a lot of other things, it encapsulates, all the wonderful qualities that we develop. When we come in touch with Srimad-Bhagavatam, when we personally kind of prepare, meditate, read, whatever, So a heartfelt gratitude to Pramana Mataji, my Bhakti Shastri teachers, Shatrupa Mataji, Pratibhahu Prabhu, dear friend Govinda Mohini Mataji, also Amritikali Mataji, and pretty much all the Vaishnavas who are attending the class today or listening on the YouTube. So a very heartfelt gratitude, because as my Guru Maharaj says, I always read this. This was given to us in my Guru Maharaj's Vyas Puja. I'll read out what it says. It says he has written on his own. Actually, these are his verse. His Holiness Rumapada Maharaj. It says, disciple means discipline, but discipline alone makes the heart hard. Discipline is important, but the rule of discipline is gratitude or love. That makes the heart soft, and it is more effective when there is gratitude and love. One does not skip a bit in fulfilling that which the person one is feeling great gratitude and love for desires. So I keep it on my board every day. I try to meditate and at least read once in a day, one time at least. So that's some of the best moments I would like to share. What are my favorite verses and purports? So the verses that are very dear to me are categorized into event-based or situation-based, wherein I was in a situation and that verse gave me hope, or I am taking shelter when any event that I come across, which is not so good or not so very good event. And some of the verses I like are instruction based, wherein my Guru Maharaj has given instructions in one of or any of his lectures. So I kind of try to read or meditate or apply when applicable or when suitable in any situation. And some are dependent on the above mentioned, or I'm personally inspired. So these are the categories of verses that I am motivated towards. So the first one is Srimad-Bhagavatam 1.3.43, where I'll read the translation and just one paragraph from that particular purport of from Srila Prabhupada. So it says, this Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religious knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So I'll read a few lines from the purport. So Krishna speaks that he spoke the Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all pretentious principles of religiosity. And prior to his departure from this material world, he empowered Srila Vyasadeva through Narada to compile the messages of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And thus, both the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad-Bhagavatam are like torch bearers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali wants to see the real light of life, they must take up to these two books only, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Bhagavatam, and Srimad-Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life. Lord Shri Krishna personified. So we must therefore accept Srimad-Bhagavatam as the direct representation of Lord Krishna. One who can see Srimad-Bhagavatam can also see Lord Krishna in person. They are identical. The other one is from Srimad-Bhagavatam 1.3.44. It says, O learned Brahmanas, when Sukadeva Goswami recited Bhagavatam there in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus by his mercy I learned the Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned from him, and I have realized it. So this is coming from the realized source. So in the purport, one paragraph I would like to read says, simply hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word nivista means that Sutta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. That is the real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. One or no one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. And no one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But somehow or the other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Sri Krishna in person in the pages of Bhagavatam. So definitely, like sometimes, I'm not attentive. So this is very inspiring for me. I also struggle, with indecision sometimes, and how to overcome is what I was kind of thinking, and then I take shelter of this verse. So here, Lord advises to Narada Muni. It is from Srimad-Bhagavatam 1.6.22. It says, "O virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me, because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from the material desires." One more, just one purport, little bit I would like to read. It says, "A living being cannot be vacant of desires. So a living being cannot be vacant of desires. He is not a dead stone. He must be working, thinking, feeling, and willing. But when he thinks, feels, and wills materially, he becomes entangled. And conversely, when he thinks, feels, and wills for the service of the Lord, he becomes gradually free from all entanglement. The more a person is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, the more he acquires a hankering for it. That is the transcendental nature of godly service." And the last few lines, it says, "Therefore, seeing the Lord means being engaged in his service, because his service and his person are identical. The sincere devotee should go on with the sincere service of the Lord, and the Lord will give proper direction as to how and where it has to be done." So anytime I get the answer, not direct answer, but at least I rely on this verse that you just do, keeping Krishna in the center, and the Lord will give proper direction. The next one is very, very dear to my heart, and this is situational based. It is from Srimad-Bhagavatam 1.8.23. I'll read the Sanskrit. "Yatha rishikesha khalena devaki kamsena ruddha tichiram sucharpita vimochitaham saha chasahatmaja vibho dvayaiva nathena muhur vipadganat." So it says, I'll just directly read the purport. "Devaki, the mother of Krishna and sister of King Kamsa, was put into prison along with her husband Vasudeva. Because the envious king was afraid of being killed by Devaki's eighth son Krishna, he killed all the sons of Devaki who were born before Krishna, but Krishna escaped the danger of child slaughter because he was transferred to the house of Nanda Maharaj, Lord Krishna's foster father. And Kunti Devi, along with her children, was also saved from a series of dangers. But Kunti Devi was shown far more favor because Lord Krishna did not save the other children of Devaki, whereas he saved the children of Kunti Devi. This was done because Devaki's husband Vasudev was living, whereas Kunti Devi was a widow, and there was none to help her except Krishna. The conclusion is that the purport says, the conclusion is that Krishna endows more favor to a devotee who is in greater danger. Sometimes he puts his pure devotees in such dangers because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. The more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. So I do take shelter of this as well. And there is one more, which is instruction based, meaning this verse is from Canto 10, Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna, where His Holiness Rumpada Maharaj in December of 2020 gave series of lectures and had emphasized that this verse is goal and means to achieve Krishna. And hence, as an instruction from my Guru Maharaj, this is one of my favorite verses. It is from 10:14:3. I'll read the Sanskrit. Gyani prayas udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam sthane stitah Shrutigatam tanuvan manobhir ye prayaso jita jitopya sitaishtrilokyam. So the purport, there are two two explanations given, one by Srila Sanatana Goswami and the other one by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So I'll read both. So Srila Sanatana Goswami has explained the word Tanu Van Manobhir by the word body and minds, by the words body and mind in three ways. So in reference to devotees, through their body, word, mind, they are able to conquer Lord Krishna, thus becoming perfect in Krishna consciousness. They can touch His lotus feet with their hands, call Him to come with their words, and attain Him to His direct audience within their mind simply by thinking about Him. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comment is explained here that the word Tanuvan Manobhihi in regards to the word Namantaha, offering obeisances, he explains that the devotees can take full advantage of the transcendental topics of Lord by offering all respect to those topics with their body, words, and mind. One should engage his body by touching the ground with his hands and head while offering obeisances to the topic of the Lord. One should engage his words by praising transcendental literatures such as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad-Bhagavatam, as well as the devotees are preaching such literatures. And one should engage his mind by feeling great reverence and pleasure while hearing the transcendental topic of the Lord. In this way, a sincere devotee who has acquired even a small amount of transcendental knowledge about Lord Krishna can conquer Him and thus go back home, back to Godhead, for eternal life at the Lord's side. I will just read the translation also, because those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge, and with their body, words, and mind offer all respective descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these instructions, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordships, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within these three worlds. So these are my favorite verses. The next question is, what motivates you to read Srimad-Bhagavatam? So when I read Srimad-Bhagavatam, I feel presence of Srila Prabhupada, the warmth of Srila Prabhupada's presence. Srila Prabhupada had said, I will never leave you. I live forever in my books, so there is no reason to cry. And he said, I will never die. I shall live for my books and you will utilize it. This is from one of the conferences in San Francisco in July the 16th in 1975. He mentioned that I will never die. I shall live for my books and you will utilize it. So although I know I'm deeply indebted to Srila Prabhupada and that I cannot pay him back maybe many lifetimes to come, but this feeling of giving back, and I'm feeling that I have taken his instruction, my Guru Maharaj's instruction, and I'm reading, in engaging in reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And also the other motivating factor is when I read, I carry that mindset of keeping Krishna in the center. So I'm always cognizant of, keeping Krishna in the center while in any dealings. So I feel, I'm in mode of goodness. So the next one is, what sacrifices of Srila Prabhupada connects you? devotees had mentioned on like that how Srila Prabhupada like sleeping very less, like just for a couple of hours, and writing all the books. It's just, I mean, my mind is not able to kind of capture that, like how he must have done it. And also the his determination, or fulfilling the orders of his spiritual master with conviction in Guru and Krishna. And yeah, I mean, and I'm sure all of us having much appreciation that this beautiful song by His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, Yadi Prabhupada na hoito tabe ki hoite, e jivan bahite kishe. So we can all relate to, so these are some of the things connects, these are the few of the sacrifices of Srila Prabhupada connects with me, very deeply. What's your favorite pastimes and why? Or what favorite pastimes from Srimad-Bhagavatam inspire you and why? So pastimes and prayers of Kunti Devi, pastimes and prayers of Dhruv Maharaj, pastimes and prayers of Lord Brahma are are a very inspiring factor for me. Why is I was looking prayers, prayers, what is a literally meaning of definition of prayers according to the dictionary? So prayer is an invocation or act that seeks to activate a rapport with an object of worship through deliberate communication. So this is the literal meaning of prayers as per the dictionary. I also personally think prayer is giving our attention to God in a two-way spiritual relationship, and where we talk to God and also listen to Him. So prayers is like a child's conversation with their father, and it is natural for a child to ask his father for the things they need, or to ask for advice or guidance. So I connect a lot with prayers. So we have this Mangalacharan prayers, Vaishnava prayers. So these are the few pastimes and prayers inspire me. Any other points in glorification of Srimad-Bhagavatam is the next question. I do have other points. I'll just take another 1 minute. I think we are just 2 minutes for 8 a.m. So yeah, we come across social media these days are so prominent, right? I mean, and then we come across all the posts of like somebody asking for the houses they would like to explore in the community or the area. They want to like to go for outings in other places, some good places to visit, and so they kind of post. And this one post I was reading that summer's almost over, and if you have time to sneak in another book or two, here are a few I recommend. And I was like, okay, I'll tweak and I'll say that, yeah, summer's almost over. And if you have time to sneak in, here are these 16 books I recommend. So definitely whoever, like anybody new into this lecture, or somebody we should all take this opportunity of, take Srimad-Bhagavatam, read Srimad-Bhagavatam, preach Srimad-Bhagavatam, and distribute Srimad-Bhagavatam. So I think 30 minutes is not sufficient to glorify Srimad-Bhagavatam, but this is all I want to say today in glorification of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Please forgive me if I have spoken anything, and request you all to add if any corrections, and would like to also add anything with respect to glorification of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Time.
Hare Krishna, Kalpataru mathaji, please accept my obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. It was really nice to hear and actually also see how long you have come. You spoke with such ease and confidence today. And I also remember a conversation as you were sharing, because we were all new at that time. So yeah, I just shared what I had heard from other devotees, the encouragement. And, I also was feeling like how fortunate we are to get this kind of an opportunity to, read, study, and share the messages of Srimad-Bhagavatam. because, I've always felt that whenever we're given a chance to give a class, we're probably the most benefited from that, from that service, because then only we go deeper into the messages, trying to see what Prabhupada is saying, what is Krishna's message for us. So, I just appreciated your presentation, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
May you continue to give such wonderful, classes. And, I really connected with your sharing about how when you read Srimad-Bhagavatam, you connect with Srila Prabhupada. So I just wanted to say, I also, want to relate to that as well. Like, just, over and over, I think about how Srila Prabhupada had made so much sacrifices, for souls like us to awaken our Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you. You all are my strength. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Kalpataru mathaji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Shiva Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Paranga. Thank you for sharing all your the glorification of Srimad-Bhagavatam. It's inspiring. Yeah, whenever everybody is speaking, it inspires. So I was thinking about when you were talking, one of the verses came in my mind in Srimad-Bhagavatam, how His Holiness Rompad Maharaj, when he comes, when he gives the classes, and how he gives that love for, he has that love for Srimad-Bhagavatam. That means he has so much love. He is carrying so much love for Krishna in his heart, and how he gives that to everyone here in Nepal especially. So I was thinking about one verse about, you can open and you can display, that will be nice. It will be 4:30:34.
Okay.
And I think you are one of them to join this sadhu sangha, and then how you got attracted. So I was just thinking about it, Mathaji.
Okay, 4:34, yeah?
4:30, 4.30.34.
Okay, 4:30. Right, okay. The activities of Aditya, okay.
You can read the translation, Mathaji.
Sure, I'll share also and I'll read. One second, share. Where did the sharing go? Okay, here it is. Okay, let me know, Prabhu, if you can all see.
I'm not able to see yet. It's coming up. Yep.
Okay. You want me to read the translation?
Yes, Mathaji.
Okay. Even a moment's association with a pure devotee cannot be compared to being transferred to heavenly planets or even merging into the Brahman effulgence in complete liberation. For living entities who are destined to give up the body and die, association with pure devotees is the highest benediction. Jai, absolutely, Prabhu.
See that even it says as even it is more than transfer to heavenly planets and Brahman effulgence. So what an association of pure devotee that Krishna is orchestrating for all of us, sending Maharaj, sending other devotees. So I was just, that is how, I'm one of them who joined. So I was thinking about you, in fact, how you came to ISKCON for whatever reason, right? And you came, and then how you were associated with the devotees, and today. And I remember even Srimad-Bhagavatam class, Mathaji, you have to give a class. I remember that, right? You were hesitating.
Yes, Prabhu, yes, exactly.
So
yes.
you're hesitating. I don't know how to give a class. Mathaji, go ahead and give a class. That doesn't matter. So you see today you're very amazingly speaking. So I was thinking, see how the Sadhu Sangha helps. Yes, and then Maharaj's love for all of us. Anyway, thank you, Mathaji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I do remember talking to you. Yes, Prabhu, and you're always inspiring. Like, whenever I have doubts or anything, like, I come to you and then I ask that blunt question and you give me that blunt answer. You have to give. That's it. Or you have to do. So, yeah, there is no option. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, that's what you all are my inspiration. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Accept my
Krishna.
senses, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I won't take much. Just wanted to say it's very, very encouraging and inspiring to see you grow in Krishna consciousness. I remember our first class, and then I see today. It's amazing to see you grow so beautifully. So just wanted to say thank you and keep going your sadhana. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the blessings. Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Just want to second and add on to a little bit. It's very inspiring, and you're sharing this verse of Sutta Goswami where he says, Yatha Ditam Yatha Mati. As I have heard and as I have realized, I will share that with you. So I was really appreciating your sharing and your realizations, and also this whole Bhagavatam glorification. Even though the verses, some of the favorite verses are repeating, but how each of us are taking and the realization, it just makes it so beautiful. My appreciation and attraction for Bhagavatam grew probably 10 times more just through this last few weeks of hearing this. So thank you so much. And that also speaks, as you're sharing about sharing Srimad Bhagavatam, how it can deepen our connection. And also, as Govindamani Mataji is saying, we are the persons who would benefit the most.
Yes,
yeah, thank you so much for your inspiring association and friendship. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Kalpataru Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. I support all that has been said about you. And I am especially stunned the kind of systematic and disciplined way you have applied yourself to every activity of Krishna consciousness that you do. And it's really, I mean, your name is becoming true, more and more true daily. What a beautiful name you have. I hope, you continue to inspire everyone and, share that love as you do. It's so obvious. So inspiring. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. I think about all of you every day. I think about, you all are my strength. Yeah, the congregation, super supportive, So yeah, I thank you, everyone. Thank you so much from deep of my heart. Yeah. Thank you. I think it's... Okay, I think it's, I'm the host now. I think if we don't have any further discussion, comments, I think we can end the call. It's 8:09.
Oh, I would like to read some chat messages for you.
Sure.
Lakshmikant Prabhu is saying you are the host now. And then Sriji Leela Mataji is saying, thank you very much. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for class. I went deep into it. Okay, that's it, I think. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.